Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Sunshine Islands. We are here on another rainy day in fall, and we have a couple of things on the agenda today. Obviously, we are going to see Natalie's heart event, which I have talked about, because her next heart event requires it to be raining, and we are halfway through fall. So I want to make sure that we get all of the heart events that require rain out of the way before winter rolls around. Because I'm not actually sure if snow technically counts towards that requirement. I'm not sure if it has to be rain or if being the equivalent of rain with it being snow in the wintertime would count or not. We might be able to test that out with Witch Princess because all of her events require rain. But for right now, we're just going to focus on what we can do. I've brought all my animals inside, and I get the day off from watering, which is really nice. And speaking of, I should plant those carrot seeds that I purchased. I decided to buy one more bag and maybe have 3 plots of carrots on the go rather than 2, just because now my eggplants are nearly at the stage where I'm going to be able to harvest them every couple of days. They don't require a ton of water, and carrots aren't that difficult to grow either. And just like with summer, I'm not really producing a ton of produce. I don't think I'm going to be getting the sunstone for 100 crops, that's for sure. But I figured I could speed it up a little bit and maybe produce a couple more harvests than I would if I just keep going with my usual 2 and 2 rule. We have to wait until 3 o'clock in order to see Natalie's event. So we have lots of stuff that we could do. Everyone's going to be inside their homes today because it's raining. I'm going to go check and see if Will is inside his house because I think we should be able to get his friendship sunstone. Especially because it was his birthday yesterday and we were able to give him a nice birthday present that he likes. And as suspected, he's going to give us one. I found this stone while I was working on my ship the other day. It's a pretty stone, so I'd like to present it to you. Now my question is, why does this guy have a bunch of sunstones when he hasn't even been on the island for that long? It doesn't make any sense, but either way, that means we've now cleaned Will out of all of his sunstones that are available. There's a lot of branches and stuff laying around, which is great. This might actually be a good day to chop some of these down, seeing as how I don't have to water today. And I really should put the lumber that I have in my bag into the shed because I think I'm up to 60 or 70 pieces of my inventory at the current time. And we can start to save up for some more upgrades again. While I'm here, I should look at what bridges are going to start costing me now. We did get Rice Island raised, but I haven't actually looked to see what that is going to cost. And it looks like it's going to cost the same that the Link Island bridge cost, which is kind of surprising. I thought that these were going to go up in price, but it seems to be a standard 100 lumber and $15,000, or sorry, 100 lumber and $10,000 if you're supplying it yourself, or 15,000 if you're not. So that's something to think about and something to take into consideration. Now that we have the refrigerator and the cabinet inside of our house, we also have the option to upgrade it. We also have the option to upgrade the toolbox. And what upgrading does is it basically just allows you to either carry more. So in the case of the refrigerator, we can give him some lumber and he can give us more slots. Or he can change the material of the fridge or whatever piece of furniture it is that you're looking at. Changing the material usually makes it so that your things will be fresher for longer. It makes them last a little bit longer. And that is worth doing if you have the material to do it. So for example, if you wanted to make your fridge out of stone instead of having it made of wood, it costs you absolutely nothing if you're able to front him 100 pieces of stone. And 100 pieces of stone is nothing. This is actually an upgrade that I really highly recommend, especially if you're going to start getting into cooking. You want to have really fresh stuff that will be of a higher quality to help you get more stamina and more hunger recovery out of it. You can also do the same for the cabinet. You can upgrade it to material stone and it allows anything inside of the cabinet to last a little bit longer. I don't really see the purpose of doing that with the toolbox. And I've never upgraded the slots on it either, the amount of space that we can have, because it has a ton of space. It has more space than I've ever been able to use. And I think that's all of the sort of new upgrades that we haven't looked at Gannon's shop yet. And I've got 2 of the girls here at the cafe, which is wonderful. That means that I can give them some gifts. I'm running out of stuff for Sabrina already, which means I have to go back to the mine soon. And I think I'm gonna have to give Julia my very last piece of pet food that I have in my inventory. Which is okay, I'll just have to go to her mom's to buy more. I can also say hello to Lily and give Lana my last fish. Which means that I should also consider going fishing. If I stop chopping down branches, then that might be something I can do today to use up some of my stamina. I'll say hello to Regis too while I'm here, because I always forget to talk to him. And poor Lily, I haven't been able to give her any gifts yet. We'll get there one day. I'm gonna take a quick trip to Chen's. Now, yesterday we bought the refrigerator, and I cannot tell you guys how incredibly stupid I felt when, after buying the refrigerator, I saw the kitchen come out for sale. I was completely 100% convinced that we got the kitchen from Gannon, so I feel like an absolute fool that I could have been cooking for the last month, and I've been so disappointed that I haven't been able to cook when I could have been doing it the entire time. obviously I forgot to do my research or double check on where it is that we get the kitchen. But the reason that I think I was really confused was because if you look at Gannon's menu, you can see here that the kitchen is listed in the house. I, for some reason, was under the impression that we had to somehow upgrade the house to a large enough level that we could pay Gannon some lumber in order to be able to put a kitchen in, but I was mistaken. So after I recorded the last video, I honestly felt a little bit down because this isn't the first time I've made mistakes, but I'm too far into this LP to just decide that I'm gonna restart and I want to make it perfect and I need to correct all of my mistakes. Everybody is pretty supportive and it's been a fun project, so I don't really have a reason to do that, but I do feel really stupid when I make mistakes like that because I still feel like I should know better. So we'll go inside and watch Natalie's event now before I forget. I guess what I look for is a kind heart. Hey, Nick. Hello. We were just talking about the kinds of boys we like. It's your turn now, Natalie. What? Come on now, don't hold out on me. Well, I'm listening. Hey, stop eavesdropping. This is, girl talk. Oh, I see why you don't want to say right now. What's that supposed to mean? Oh, I think you know. Enough. Let's talk about something else, Julia. Well, if you insist. Oh, you don't like being the one getting pranked and picked on, huh? What? Nothing at all. So that's her next hard event out of the way. And we're all caught up on both her and Julia's events because we got Julia's green heart event yesterday. So now we just have to focus on Lana and Sabrina's blue heart events. And I also recently discovered that Natalie likes the blue mist flowers. I think she actually likes all flowers in every season, and it's not as great as being able to give her blueberries, obviously, which is a gift that she loves, but at this point I'm running out of gifts to give her, and that's going to be a really nice gift that we can continue to give her for free until I can find something a little bit better. While I'm here, I'm going to buy food for both my rucksack and my food dispenser for my pets. And then I'll just run around the rest of the island here. I should get my weather report. See what we're in for tomorrow. If it's going to rain again or not. It'll be sunny. Alright, well, that's great, because I hope some of my crops come in tomorrow. Alright, I guess I'll go to Mystic Island first. So yeah, I hope people who are using this as a guide, I hope you don't take this as like, I'm God and I know everything. It really is worth doing your research and looking around, and again, I feel so horrible if there are people out here trying to use this as a guide and you're under the impression that you get the kitchen from Gannon and you wait a whole month like I did. But it's not really the worst thing in the world because I've had so much to do in both seasons. I've been devoting all of my energy on befriending villagers and getting sunstones, building the farm, getting some animals, and using my energy towards watering crops and stuff like that, that even if I did have the kitchen and I had a means to get food cooked and things like that, to have items to bring to the mine, I still probably wouldn't have the time for it, to be honest. So the thing that bugs me is that I forgot that the kitchen was available to us so soon. I'm not necessarily as upset about the fact that I haven't gotten the kitchen yet. I always adapt. If I'm not able to do something, we just do something else. And we've still found lots of things to keep our days very, very busy and fulfilled. And the good news is that we know we can get the kitchen now. We know what we need to do in order to be able to afford it. And we should be able to get the kitchen in time for winter. And in the winter time is kind of the best time to do a lot of mining. The only downside about that is that I've been selling a lot of my mushrooms, and you don't really get access to a ton of foraged items or mushrooms or anything like that in the wintertime. So it might be a little bit difficult to catch up on cooking some stuff that will help us in the wintertime, but I still have half a month to kind of plan around that. Because there's not as much for us to do in wintertime. But I think if I play my cards right and I save some materials, I now have the fridge so I can put stuff into it. I learn a few recipes, maybe upgrade my tools, then I should be able to make the most out of mining for where I'm at in the game right now. Oh, I suck at fishing. This is, I think I'm pressing the button too late. I'm trying to do too many things at once. I've got so many like thoughts in my head and I'm trying to watch my stamina and the time. I should go to the cafe before I go home. Yep, today is not my day for fishing. God. This system sucks. Or I just suck, really. But hey, I guess with the fish that I got, at least I got all fish and no junk, which is more than I can say happens most of the time. So I'm going to make myself nice and full. And then head on back to my house and close this episode out. I will be back on the 16th of fall for our dog festival, so I'll probably end up just playing tomorrow on my own and then coming back so we can attend that festival. I should also remember to ship my eggs. I forgot to do that today, which means that I didn't make any money off of them. But I am loving this extra inventory space. Look at that. I don't think I had to really go into my inventory all that much today. Whereas normally I'm flipping through my menu constantly trying to readjust everything. So once again, I apologize that we don't have the kitchen yet. I still feel like an idiot, but hopefully you can all forgive me. We are not doing a speed run after all, and believe it or not, I'm still playing this much, much, much more efficiently than I did my first time through, that's for sure. I'm gonna go ahead and put a couple of herbs in my fridge here just to save myself a little bit of room, give myself even more rucksack space. Alright. So like I said, we have the dog festival on the 16th, and then other than that, our calendar is pretty free and clear, so hopefully we'll be able to make a couple of fun and exciting things happen, and I will let you know when those things do happen. I will be back soon. Thank you all so very much for watching, and I hope that I will see you next time.